And now, please welcome National Merit Scholarship semifinalist, Calabasas High School's Sanath Sengupta.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2018 Calabasas State of the City Address. And now, if everyone would stand to join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. So, face the flag, place your right hand over your heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. As a student of the Calabasas school system for over a decade, although I'll admit it seemed longer than that at times, it really is a privilege to introduce a man who's worked so closely with our schools and done so much as a proponent of education in the city. So it's my honor to present to you Mayor Fred Gaines.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you ever wondered who the smartest kid at Calabasas High School is, it's a good chance it's Sanath. The perfect score on the SAT is 1,600. Your score was 1,590. What course did you get wrong?
Oh, that kind of pains me every time. Just a simple grammar one, and I changed it at the very last minute to the wrong answer, apparently, but yeah.
Well, Sanath is not only our National Merit Scholar this year. 2 years ago, he started our Model United Nations team here at Calabasas High School, which is already ranked in the top 50 Model United Nations teams in the country, plays on the Calabasas tennis team, and has already developed an app that you can buy on Apple at the Apple Store. So, Sanath, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Sanath's parents are here. Congratulations to you. Thank you so much. Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to the 2018 State of the City Address. And tonight we're going to talk about building bridges, because while in Washington they've been arguing a lot about building a wall, here in Calabasas we built a beautiful, beautiful bridge. And it is the new gateway to our city on the west side. Over $30 million, our new Lost Hills Bridge, state, county, and city money. The hawk sculptures on the side, the bronze sculptures, 6 feet long, 110 pounds each. 76 new oak trees planted as part of the landscaping. And if you notice, we matched the architecture, the color, the wrought iron work of our City Hall and Civic Center. So that from the west side to the east side throughout our entire city, the same beautiful, beautiful architecture. And I want to thank Robert Yalda, our Public Works Director, and his incredible staff. All of the contractors and workers, and a special thank you to our Saratoga Hills community, which was very involved for many years in the design, in the planning, and lived through the construction of our new bridge. But it came out fantastic. And while we built a bridge, our sister city in Anjing, China also built a little bridge. The 9th largest cable-stayed bridge in the world. They built a bridge this year as well, so I thought building bridges would be a wonderful theme. And Jill and I next month are off to Anjing, China for a visit to our sister city, and we have a logo for our trip, the Building Bridges Sister City logo, with our 2 bridges and 16 stars representing the 16 years that we've been sister cities with Anjing, China. So we're looking forward to that trip very much, and we'll bring back lots of good wishes from our Chinese friends. One of the great bridges that we have from the past to the future here in Calabasas is our council. Our former council members who are founders, who have stayed involved, who have really been such a tremendous basis for the city, and something that all of the council members, our current council members, look to, we still look to. And tonight, Dennis Washburn, Bob Hill, Marvin Lapata, and Michael Harrison are here. Please, gentlemen, be recognized. I serve with an amazing council, and we don't agree on everything, but we work together. And really, I know all of my fellow members, in their hearts, have the best interest of the residents at heart. And every decision, I can see the decision-making being what is in the best interest of our city and our residents. Our Mayor Pro Tem, David J. Shapiro. Councilmember James Bazagian. Councilmember Mary Sue Maurer, and Councilmember Alicia Weintraub. We also build bridges into our community with commissions. We have 40 commissioners on 8 different commissions. We have many, many more people involved in our committees and boards and task force. Here's the names of all of our city commissioners. Would all of our city commissioners, committee members, task force members please rise and be recognized? We work very closely with our neighboring cities. You know, we may be in a bubble, but we're not an island here in Calabasas. And from the city of Agoura Hills tonight, we have with us Mayor Bill Kohler and Councilman Dennis Weber. And I want to tell you something about Bill Kohler is retiring from the city council. This is at least 25 years of city service. He was on the planning commission for 12 years. He's been on the city council for more than 12 years, and he's going to be going off the council at the end of this year. It's been a pleasure for me personally to get to know you and work for you, and the residents of Calabasas are very grateful for your great service to the Conejo Las Virgenes community, and congratulations to you. The city of Hidden Hills, we have Mayor Pro Tem Marv Landon and City Manager Carrie Coleman. Where are they? Right there. Thank you for being here. And the cities in the area work together in what's called a COG, not Cogswell Cogs from the Jetsons, but a COG, the Las Virgenes Malibu Council of Governments, which is Calabasas, Hidden Hills, Westlake, Malibu, and Agoura Hills. And we work together on issues throughout this entire region. And some of the issues we're working on looking into the future, Measure M funding. This is the transportation tax measure, which provides funds to not only for the big projects, the subways and so forth, but for every area of the county gets funds. And together the cities are working on how to spend those funds so that traffic can move freely as it can, and safely through our entire region, because we can't do it by ourselves. Also working together on our emergency response plans and our hazard mitigation plans, because fires and earthquakes don't know city boundaries. And so it's very important, the planning that we do with our regional groups. And of course, we couldn't do any of this without our incredible Los Angeles County sheriffs and firefighters. With us tonight representing the Sheriff's Department, we have LA Sheriff's Department Chief John Benedict, Commander Pat Nelson, Captain Josh Ty, and our Community Liaison Officer here in Calabasas, John Peck. Where are they? They're up above. Thank you, guys. And our from the Fire Department, Assistant Chief Anthony Williams and Battalion Chief Kevin Kennedy, also up here. Thank you, guys. Our Las Virgenes Municipal Water District, I know you don't like paying the water bills. I don't like paying the water bills either. But you turn the tap on and the water comes out. But our water district has actually been very, very progressive water district over the years. And they're doing even more of that now. We don't get a drop. We have no water here. Every drop comes from the California Water Project and from the Metropolitan Water District. But our Water District Board, and tonight we have Charles Casperi. Where's Charles? Charles? And the General Manager, Dave Peterson. Where's Dave? Dave, thank you. They are looking to how we create some water here, and we're going to do it through the Pure Water Project, a project where we're going to recycle some of the water that we have in our community and put it back and put it to even greater use than we used already. This is a trip. We had our Congressman Ted Lieu out to visit, talk to him about how they can help us with this project. Our city, you see our city leaders on board. Senator Stern was there, and we took them through, and we're going to get this project done, and it's going to be an amazing, amazing project for us in this entire region. And thanks to the Water District for their great leadership. Calabasas would not be what it is. The number one reason people come and stay is our Las Virgenes Unified Schools. I'm the first to admit it as mayor of Calabasas. And we have from our school board Leslie Stein and Angela Cuttville. And is Linda Menges here? And Linda's here from our school board. And I think We have two of our local principals here tonight. Stephanie Brazel from Chaparral. Thank you so much. And Scott Fooley, the new principal at Lupin Hill. Is Scott here? All right, you don't have to applaud because he didn't show up. Unfortunately, when we think about our schools nowadays, we have to think about school safety. And we worked over the last year with the leadership in the school district, our superintendent, Dan Stepanowski, on improvements in school safety. Dan greeted all of the parents and students this year with a videotape going through the details of the analysis and the improvements, both physical and staff driven for school safety in our area. And you should, if you have a chance, take a look at that if you haven't seen that already. Of course, our schools are in the top 2% of public schools nationwide. These are outstanding public schools with awards at all of our schools here in Calabasas. And those who know me know that I'm a big Coyote sports fan, okay? And I am very happy to be the first mayor to be able to stand here and tell you that I'm a mayor of a town with league championships in football and basketball and baseball. And then there was this.
Good start here. Good start here. Here comes Augustine in 5. It's Nowling and Augustine.
That is the first ever state championship in athletics for Calabasas High School. The fastest girl in California, she's a Coyote, Deanna Nalling. Deanna was going to be here tonight, but she's on a recruiting trip, because when you're the fastest girl in California, the best colleges around the country want you to come run track for them. So she's actually on a flight as we speak to the University of Texas in Austin, because they want to offer her a college scholarship. And you know, the last time I gave the speech was 2014, and on the night that I stood there, Calabasas High School football was 0-30. They hadn't won a game in 3 years. And on that night, if you recall, I predicted that there would be a new era of Calabasas football. And since that night, we're 44-12. We have 3 league championships. We have 2 CIF championships. But and I want to tell you another little story. Where's John Muller? There's John. So people are going to think that we have a great football program because Jill Gaines, the school board president, hired a good coach, because Darnay Holmes came to play here. I want the history books to remember that the reason that Calabasas went from worst to first in football was John Muller, because John Muller's high school friend, Jim Clausen, his sons said, hey, can we come over and coach Calabasas football? And it was John that called Jill, that called CJ, and started that. And we are now a football powerhouse because of mild-mannered John Muller, our planning commissioner. A lot of people, and seriously, a lot of people say, Fred, why do you care so much? So who cares that we're good at football? Calabasas football has become the largest college scholarship program in Las Virgenes schools. 21 college scholarships over the last 4 years to students at Calabasas High School. That's what we do at Calabasas High School. We send kids to college, and now we're sending them to college through athletics as well. That's why we do this. I don't necessarily agree with our county supervisor, Sheila Kuehl, on everything, but she made a fantastic appointment in her new district director, our Calabasas own, my neighbor, mom in our Las Virgenes school, Susan Ng. And we've been working with the county, if you call suing them and settling the lawsuit, working with them. But we have reached a settlement of the lawsuit relating to the annexation of a piece of property on the west end of town, and we look forward to having that completed shortly. And I want to thank our great city attorney, Scott Howard. Scott, are you here? Where's Scott? Scott Howard, and all the people at his firm have worked so hard to make that happen. We are in a very unique situation in Calabasas where we have truly 2 of the young superstars in American politics, now representing us as our state senator and our state assemblyman, Senator Henry Stern and Assemblyman Jesse Gabriel. I see Jesse there. Is Henry here? All right, I don't see him here. But we are so pleased to have you representing us. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it greatly. And when they write the history books, the history of California, the first quarter century of the new millennium, the name that I think is going to appear as much as any name is the name of my good friend, Senator Bob Hertzberg. The millennium started with Bob as our speaker, unanimously elected by Republicans and Democrats. Remember when that happened? Unanimously elected. Went back, termed out of office, went back to private industry, back to the state legislature, state senator. And when you look at virtually every major piece of legislation, of reform that has happened in our state government during this first quarter century, there are ties to my friend, Bob Hertzberg. I love you, man. Here's what we need from you guys. We're working on legislation related to anticoagulant rodenticides. We are one of the cities that has come forward with our own resolutions related to limiting the use of these rodenticides, because here in the Santa Monica Mountains, we see the devastation that these poisons have caused. And we need help with state legislation that allow us to go even further than what we've been able to do. We just co-authored with the city of Malibu a resolution passed by the just last Friday at the League of Cities annual meeting. Mayor Pro Tem Shapiro and I were there, and we're going to be coming to the legislature to ask you for help on this issue. And we're also going to be moving forward on controlling plastic waste. We've been a leader on plastic bags, on styrofoam, and we're going to join Malibu and other cities in moving forward on plastic waste. I know the governor signed a bill where you don't get a straw unless you ask one. Okay, that's a good little step, but we actually got to find better items to use. We can't keep putting plastic into the environment. And you'd be surprised, little cities like Calabasas make a big difference when we take stands on this, and we're going to be coming to our legislators to help with that as well. We have, I think, the best Chamber of Commerce around, the Calabasas Chamber of Commerce. They are our true partner in working with us on so many things. Our board president, Jeannie Garrison. Jeannie, are you here? Jeannie's not here, and Pam Kissel, our CEO. And we look forward to continuing to work with you. We're involved regionally in VICA, the Valley Industry and Commerce Association. I'm a past chair of VICA. We're going to be hosting their board meeting here next Thursday, and we do a lot of great work with them. I don't know if Stuart Waldman is here from VICA, the CEO of VICA. And we also part of the Economic Alliance. We had their gala here just 2 weeks ago in our Civic Center Plaza with awards to the stars of the Valley, but they do a great job, workforce development, job creation, helping our cities attract business. And so we work very closely. Mayor Pro Tem Shapiro and I are both on the board of the Economic Alliance. Some of our leaders in the past have different nicknames. Arnold Schwarzenegger was the Governator. I'm the ribbon cutter. I want to be the ribbon cutter because when you're cutting ribbons, things are happening. People are coming. People want to be here in Calabasas. They want their business here. They want to provide services and jobs and opportunities in our town. So I love it. And we brought some incredible businesses to Calabasas this year, and I'm very, very proud. Cody Cosmetics, 350 employees on Park Granada. This was the former Lockheed headquarters. They used to create nuclear weapons. Now they create beauty products. Seriously. It's incredible, 350 employees. Farmers Insurance Regional Office. The Stand, if you want to find me or Shapiro, you go over to The Stand. And 2 weeks from tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, Trader Joe's. We're cutting the ribbon on Trader Joe's, which I know is going to be wildly popular and makes me very happy because the one cultural advantage that Agoura Hills had over Calabasas will be eliminated when we get our own Trader Joe's. I miss them so much. But now we have the best First Lady and First Mother here in Calabasas. My gorgeous sweetie, Jill Gaines, and my beautiful mother, Arlene Gaines. So here in our hometown, we probably did the one thing that a city council gets to do that is most important in terms of building a bridge to the future. And I didn't know it was going to happen when I became mayor, but Tony Corrales came in and said after 15 years he's going to retire, and we needed to find a new city manager. And I'm so proud of my council. We worked together, we acted quickly, but very thoroughly. We did a survey of our residents, we did a survey of our staff, we hired top-notch executive recruiters. We had 72 applications from Hawaii to Massachusetts. We narrowed them down, we did several rounds of interviews, and then we found, after thanking Tony Corrales and Patty for their great work, we found our new city manager right here in Calabasas, Dr. Gary Lysick. And his incredible wife, Karen. Thank you so much for being here. Gary would be the first to tell you the department heads get the job done. And what is that, a high school picture of Jeff Rubin? I don't know. But our department heads do an unbelievable job. We already talked about Public Works with the beautiful bridge, but looking forward, we have our Las Virgenes Creek restoration project about to be completed, and our Mulholland Old Topanga gateway improvements coming down the pike as well. Our Community Services Department, nobody touches more lives on a daily basis in our city than our great Community Services Department headed by Jeff Rubin. The programs for kids and seniors and the events for the entire community, the Pumpkin Festival, the Arts Festival, our concerts, and our 4th of July, they set the calendar for us every year in Calabasas. Public safety, Jim Jordan, we're so lucky to have him after his great work with the fire department. And this is a tough job. You know, people forget that this is being ready for something that may or may not occur. And but it's so important, and he's out there with our Citizens Emergency Response Team, going out to our homeowner associations, going out into the community, making sure we have that information so that when it happens, we're ready, and people we're as ready as we can be. And really great work, and so thankful for his incredible work. Our Community Development Department, headed by Maureen Tamari, and instead of focusing tonight. There's Marie. Instead of focusing tonight on the development projects, I want to tell you about something else that we're doing, and it ties into a focus that the entire council really, truly believes in. Right now, we're putting every record online, every one of our development records, every property record, every zoning record, every building permit. It's a Smart Gov program that we've put together. We're going through that process so that by next year, all of that information is going to be available at the touch of a fingertip. It's a big project, but I think it's so important. Our Administrative Service Director, John Bingham, and our City Clerk, Mari Hernandez, do an outstanding job. Mari Hernandez is leading getting the rest of the city records online in the Laserfiche program, all the other city records, anything you want to see from the check register to the contracts, everything that you can see is going to be on there. And she's doing that all, of course, while she is getting ready to run our election 2018. We have an election coming up. It's going to be new for us because we're on the November ballot, never with the state and federal elections. That's never happened before. So we're going to be pages down the ballot. Stay with us and get there and cast your votes. October 22nd, last day to register, and November 6th, of course, the election. And Mari takes care of that for us. Our media and information and library and information systems department, Deborah Steller, does an incredible job, including putting all of this on tonight. But their job is to take all of this online information, and we're going to do a website makeover because we're creating City Hall 24/7. We're going to put everything that you can possibly do online into our website so that you can, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, have access to that information, make requests, get responses, participate in your local government. It's something that I think is going to be a great system, something that's going to be a model for the area and for the state. Our library, Barbara Lockwood, our city librarian, does an absolutely incredible job. And it's not just books anymore. It's virtual reality and 3D printing and ebooks and free Wi-Fi and so much more. And our library is on top of it and really looking as to what libraries of the future are going to be, and a lot of that is already here right now. Our finance department continues with innovative asset management and award-winning financial reporting. We have an incredible city staff. Please, let's hear it for our Calabasas city staff. I want to talk to you a little about what does a mayor do, what does a mayor think about? And of course, when you think of me, this is what you think the mayor does.
All right, let's see if we can dunk the mayor.
A lot of people think about our council meetings, and I'm actually, when you got the gavel and you're passing the laws. And I'm very proud of the way we operate our council meetings because I think they're very civil and very open and inclusive. But it's my least favorite part of the job. The formality of those meetings, the distance between the speakers, the inability of the rules to really let us debate and talk about things, it can be very frustrating in those meetings. I love representing the city. And that's what people in Calabasas want. They want to touch their government. They want to know that people are there. And when you get out, this decides how you vote, much more than what goes on in those meetings. When you're out talking to people in the community, seeing what goes on, hearing from them, listening to what they have to say. But it's also one of my favorite things is to represent our great little city in a much bigger context. And I've been involved this year with our LA County mayors from all 88 cities, because issues that we deal with don't stop in little Calabasas. When you're talking about transportation and water and pollution control, we have to work together with our other cities, and it's been my pleasure to work with Mayor Garcetti and many of the other mayors from around the county on those issues. And this year, I had one of the most incredible experiences of my life. I got to attend the U.S. Conference of Mayors. It was in Boston, Massachusetts. This is Mayor Marty Walsh from Boston. And he hosted the meeting. And it happened that weekend was the weekend of the Gay Pride Parade in Boston. And Mayor Walsh invited the mayors to come march, lead the parade with him. And 200 mayors in our rainbow sashes led the Gay Pride Parade. And I have to tell you something, I'd never been to a Gay Pride Parade. But the feeling of liberation, the feeling of acceptance, the joy in seeing 200 mayors from around the country, some from places that are not California and New York, that are not often thought of being gay friendly, mayors from South Dakota and South Carolina and Kansas. It was truly an amazing, invigorating experience. The conference was incredible. The first thing that hits me is how lucky we are, because I'm sitting at a table with mayors who every day are dealing with gun violence and poverty and crumbling infrastructure. But it also hit me how much we have to share. I sat down at lunch next to the mayor of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I introduced myself as being from Calabasas, and he said, "You guys did the secondhand smoke ordinance. We copied part of that ordinance in Chattanooga, Tennessee." They knew and remembered, and it shows what kind of effect you can have when you pick those kinds of issues. And the same was true when we talked about our plastic bag initiative here and in the state. And when we talked about, frankly, I went to some meetings about senior programs, and we shared information about this kind of senior programs, how we're trying to literally invigorate in every aspect of city government how we can encourage aging in place and support our seniors. So it was a two-way street at the U.S. Conference of Mayors, and it's something that was I'll never forget. I will tell you that as mayor, I worry. I worry about stuff. And I worry about fires and earthquakes and emergency response, because we're doing all this work to try and be ready. And frankly, we had our fire in 2016, and the response was great. But the wind blows this way a little bit, and it's a disaster. And all this work we do to try and get people ready, and people don't think about it, and we haven't had an earthquake in a long time, and people aren't thinking about it, and it's something that I hope everyone keeps in the front of their mind and remembers this is something we always have to be vigilant about. One of the things that we're doing as we look to the future that we worked on this year is our 911 auto-locate. So we don't have it yet, but soon you're going to be able to call 911. It'll automatically tell 911 from your cell phone where you are located and where to respond to. So we're within the year we will have that set up with our sheriffs and firefighters. I worry a lot about housing and homelessness. I don't know about you. It's just in my gut. I mean, you drive downtown, and you don't have to drive downtown. You go under the freeway at Topanga, and I can't believe that this is our community. We've done some things here in Calabasas. This is Canyon Creek. This is a 100%, 75 unit, 100% affordable senior project. This is low-income housing in Calabasas. We have low-income housing. We can build it and make it nice and make it part of the community. And we need to do more of that. But we also have to do a little more. You know, some people won't like this. We've done our share to exacerbate the problem. We love our low density and we love our open space, and I love it too, and I'm not saying we should change it. But when we do that and dozens of other cities make that decision, it's not surprising that decades later we have a housing shortage. And homelessness is a very complicated issue, but one part of it is this housing shortage. And so what is our responsibility? I think about this a lot. What is our role? Mayor Garcetti in LA told all 15 districts that they have to come up with a place to service and house homeless, including right across the street in Woodland Hills and in that district right there. What is our role? Just to look the other way? I think we have a role and responsibility to be part of that solution as well, and I look forward to working with the council and the community on doing that. My biggest nightmare at the U.S. Conference of Mayors, getting presentations by different mayors, and out on stage walks Christine Hunchofsky. She's the mayor of Parkland, Florida. Was involved in the schools and the PTA and ended up on the city council. She's the mayor. And she started telling us about Parkland. Parkland is an affluent suburb, rated one of the safest cities in Florida, excellent public schools. Parkland is Calabasas. And while we have taken some steps, I mentioned that we worked with Superintendent Stepanowski on some school safety measures over this last summer that were implemented during the beginning of the school year. We, for years in Calabasas, have funded the J team, the juvenile team at our sheriff's department that works in the schools, checking social media, working and trying to head off some of these problems. And those are good steps, but we have clearly failed to do everything we can, not just in Calabasas, but in our state and in our country. We're arguing about background checks and mental health care. And I have to tell you, I will never be able to protect you, and these guys will never be able to protect you until we get the guns. We've got to get rid of the guns. There is no reason for assault rifles, for semi-automatic, for automatic, for handguns. That's what we need to be discussing, and I hope you'll join me in contacting your representatives in making that an important issue, because this is what I worry about today. There was a shooting, and I hold my breath to hear where it is, and it shouldn't matter where it is. The best part of being mayor, the absolute best part, is just helping residents. Someone calls you and says the sidewalk's cracked in front of their house, and you call Robert Yalda, and Robert is, on vacation, but he calls the guy, and they go out and they fix it, and they're happy. That is what people want out of their government, and that's what they get here in Calabasas that makes them so happy. Wild Walnut Park, this is on our agenda next week, but this was residents coming and saying, hey, let's talk about having a playground, let's talk about having a dog park, and we work it through, and we're going to be voting on whether to do that next week. That's what people want in Calabasas. Probably the simplest thing, listening to people, going out and talking and listening to what their concerns are so that you know how to take care of it. It's the number one thing. And it's the thing that I enjoy and makes me so happy. And I have to say, we have a great council. All of my fellow councilors do an incredible job on this. Every email gets responded to by the mayor. You email the mayor emails you back. Half the people email back, is that really the mayor? But it is, because they want that response. And even when I'm not telling them exactly what they want to hear, the idea that they've emailed the mayor, and they can do that with any of my colleagues, all of them. They're often getting 5 emails right away in response when they send those to our council. And it's so important. It's so simple, but it's so important. Seeing people happy. I was at the concert, the last concert of the year, with the Steely Jam concert, and it was an absolute gorgeous Calabasas night, just like tonight. Look at the moon. The moon is beautiful today. Take a look at it before you leave. But it was just a perfect evening, and people were just there, and they were enjoying themselves, and they were dancing and singing and happy, and that you see that at our events, at our 4th of July. People make fun of me. I hand out a lot of certificates. I write letters to everybody, congratulating them on what they do. This is what people want to know, that their city, their community cares about them. I can't tell you how much response I get from that. And then recognizing the amazing people in Calabasas, because Calabasas is a collection of truly unbelievable people, and getting out there and recognize them, something that we do. We grieve with the families in our Adjourn in Memories, and I think it's so important when we have members of our community that are lost, and we're able to reach out to those families and have the city recognize them. It's not only an important part of our history and part of what's become our culture in Calabasas, but so wonderful for those families. But I will tell you, this was the best moment for Calabasas this year.
Representing the city of Calabasas are Mayor Fred Gaines and Special Olympian Nick Hucrod. Thank you, Calabasas, for attending tonight's Dodgers game. Nick, the mound is yours. And His Honor, Mayor Gaines, will do the catching. Great job, Nick.
Nick's one of our greatest residents, and he's lived here his whole life, around the corner from me. His mom, 20 years teaching at Calabasas High School, works at Gelson's, and has worked there for years, helped hundreds and hundreds of people at his job at Gelson's. I want to tell you a little story. So we were down on the field, Mayor Pro Tem Shapiro and I were down on the field, and Ron Say, Dodger legend, 1981 World Series MVP, was down there, and we see him coming over, and I've met Ron Say, and Dave's met Ron Say, and Ron Say comes over right by Shapiro and I, straight to Nick Hucrod. Nick, what are you doing here? Because Nick has packaged the groceries for Ron Say for weeks and weeks and weeks. It was a great experience. Nick is really what we're all about in Calabasas, is those kinds of residents out there helping, doing their job every day, and what a great moment. You know, there's so many I could start going through the audience, so many incredible residents here. Lois Julian. By the way, do you like the technology? I pick someone randomly out of the audience and immediately their photo comes up on the screen. Media, awesome. We have a town crier in Calabasas, and it's Lois Julian, okay? She really is amazing. I just love being with her. I love being around her. You know, Carol Davis and Sue Somberg get all the credit for Savvy Seniors. No one would know anything about it if it wasn't for Lois Julian. And Lois, you are one of the great residents of Calabasas. We love you so much. want to talk about Mark Secan. Mark Secan has served on our planning commission for 14 years. Deserves battle pay for that. We should get you a medal of some kind. And he's going to retire from the planning commission. He's asked to go off the commission after unbelievable service. He is the ultimate professional. We could not ask for a better representative of our residents in the city of Calabasas. But he's also known throughout the community as an engineering company throughout Southern California, is absolutely top-notch on his field. And then a lot of things you probably don't know. Volunteers at West Hills Baseball, volunteers at Chaminade High School. He's on advisory boards at Cal State Northridge, at Cal State LA. He's a board member of the Los Angeles County Animal Care Fund. His wife, Lynette, has volunteered at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, many other causes. And for all of these reasons, I want you to know that I have selected Mark Secan as our 2018 Citizen of the Year. Mark, will you come down here, please? I'll hand this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure the entire time living and volunteering in this city, and raised our kids here, and I married my wife here, met her here, and so it's been an extremely nice opportunity for us. So thank you very much for this.
Thank you for everything you've done. Congratulations. As mayor, I can't guarantee you much, but I'm going to guarantee you one thing. There's one thing I can guarantee you, and that is our best days are yet to come. Our best days are yet to come. That's the business we're in. That's the business I'm in. That's the business we're in Calabasas, is we're in the best days are yet to come business. And if you're in government or public service and you don't believe that you're in the best days are yet to come business, then it's time to get out. Because there's no room for looking backward, for dismantling progress, for playing on fear, for placing blame. We have to welcome growth and change. The status quo and the good old days are the antithesis of the best days are yet to come. And I need all of you to participate with us in making sure that my prognostication tonight comes true, and I know you will, because we have the greatest people in the greatest town. And that's how we're going to build a bridge to the future. With all of your help, the best days are yet to come. I want to thank you all so much for being here.